Hey everyone, well, it's been a year since the City of Mississauga declared food insecurity an emergency here, which really started a trend across Ontario of other food banks following suit. There's now 12 cities or municipalities that have declared this emergency or crisis. And we really hope that by having many communities across Ontario make a declaration like this, we can use it to demonstrate to the provincial government what our needs are and what the reality is on the ground. Unfortunately, though, this declaration so far has not done anything to decrease food insecurity in the province or here in our community. In fact, our National Association Food Banks Canada reported earlier this year that 1 in 4 Canadian households are not sure they can afford food. That means 25% of Canada is food insecure. And it's so frustrating that even with this declaration, the growing awareness of poverty and all of the generosity that you folks showed your neighbors by donating to ensure that folks have food, the structural issues still exist. And food insecurity and food bank use have grown. So in Mississauga, that meant a 20% increase in visits to our food programs, as folks who used to need us just a couple of times a year now need us every single month just to get by. Over 503,000 times last year, someone in our city walked through the door of a food program because they could no longer afford the necessities of their life without any help. And so as we look ahead, the new federal budget might help somewhat, but it does not explicitly address the rising demand for food banks or the broader issue of food insecurity. Nor did it include any immediate relief to individuals and families who are relying and surviving by using food banks. So we're pleased about automatic tax filing that'll get folks the government supports that they deserve. The $150 to offset disability tax credit application, making the school food program permanent is a great start, and we definitely need that dental plan to stay permanent. At the provincial level, Bill 60 is currently being debated. It would change tenant protections, making it easier for landlords to evict renters and reducing renters' access to justice and a fair hearing. With 78% of food bank visitors renting their homes in market rent, I, along with food banks across Ontario, are deeply, deeply concerned about the impact Bill 60 will have on the people we serve, their increased risk of homelessness. So please visit our website to send your MPP a letter asking them to overturn Bill 60. Well, friends, we have a long way to go with policy stacked up against those who are most vulnerable. You may have read in the news that the US government shutdown has affected SNAP benefits, formerly known as food stamps, meaning 44 million people in the US are at risk of losing an average of almost $10,000 per year in income supports, because SNAP makes up a big part of their social assistance. While this doesn't affect us directly, it is creating an environment that normalizes removing support from people who are most vulnerable, and that is incredibly worrying. At Food Banks Mississauga, we will continue to partner with you to provide healthy food to our neighbors for today. And we will keep advocating for government and corporate policy change that will decrease food bank use for tomorrow. Do you have any questions about how policy interacts with food bank use? Is there something about food security or food insecurity that you don't understand? Please reach out and let us know, and I'll cover it in a future video. Until then, thank you so much for standing with us, Mississauga. See you soon.